Hey, ioStux here. This session is sponsored by myself because I am the only person I trust. If you like these coaching sessions that I upload, then you can check out my coaching services on ioStux.com. There is a bunch of new stuff and I redesigned the website and it is hella sexy. So if you want to get coached by the literal best private Overwatch coach, okay, I've been doing this shit for 5 years, I'm pretty good at it by now, then check out ioStux.com. It's pretty affordable, it's going to help you. I'm going to get you to our ELO, you need to trust me. Enjoy the session. With proper microphone quality. Oh, I am so mad. Okay, let's 4MY 4K5. Let's get that in here. Replays,
I believe I was Zarya for like 90% of the game. I think I might switch to Diva at some point.
Okay.
It was not. It started off well, and then we ended up being really bad on attack.
Okay. Nothing that we can't fix, would hope. Let me share my screen. There we go. Also, I got a new router, which is amazing because it means that I can have stuff running in the background and I should be able to screen share at an acceptable quality. So,
Yeah,
yes,
good.
Very, very good. Excellent. Good. Good. Do you know what a soda stream is? It's like a machine where you give it like tap water and it turns it into fizzy water.
Oh.
And you can put like shit into it to give it flavor.
Did you get one?
I got it as a gift. It's the best thing ever. I got like Mountain Dew flavor, Sprite flavor. It's amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, so good. None of it has any calories. I've been drinking like 5 liters today. I've been peeing all day. It's actually insane.
Nice.
So let's look at this
Hydration.
gameplay. Good energy. Nice. Okay. So one thing I'm noticing is you are using your right click a lot. Why is that?
Yes. I guess I'm just kind of trying to spam from like a safe distance.
Why do you need to be at a safe distance?
I don't know. I guess
Think about it this way. What position are you less likely to die in? Behind the support? In front of the support?
Very true.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If there is someone up here on this high ground, okay, the enemy team have a, I don't know, a soldier, I guess, but let's say they had like a Widowmaker or something, one headshot into your face, okay, normally no problem, Baptiste would be able to heal it, maybe Immortality field you out of panic. If you're standing behind him, he can't help you, okay? So this is an important lesson that you need to learn. Distance does not equal safety. Okay. Distance would equal safety if either A, damage fall off would be a much bigger factor, which it isn't. Most of the damage you take, it doesn't really matter how far away they are, unless it's like a tracer. Or distance would matter if the majority of the characters in the game would be melee. But if you look at the enemy team, besides the Reinhardt, no one really is melee. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sorry, I just recognized the name of the enemy Ana, sui generis. I am like 100% certain that I've coached that person before.
Really?
Yes. Like genuinely super duper confident. But I'm also sure it's a Smurf account. Like I'm 99% sure that's a Smurf account. But I can't check in a replay code, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've worked with that person before. Anyways, point being, neither of those two factors applies, which means that in Overwatch, distance is not a good indicator of how safe you are. What is an indicator of how safe you are multiple things. The first one, okay, so this is where ideally you have something to take notes with. You don't need to like memorize it verbatim, but just the general idea. The first one is the so-called meat shield rule, where you need to understand that people want to focus whoever is in front of them. Okay? Which means that as long as you have a meat shield in front of you, like this Reinhardt or this Doomfist or this Baptiste, people are going to focus the meat shield over you. They're just programmed to do that. It's intuitive. You do it as well, subconsciously without thinking about it. Okay?
Yeah.
It's number one. Number two, is the windshield, or the windshield wiper rule, I guess you could call it, where you want to be next to a piece of cover, so you can use the corner, the piece of cover, kind of like a windshield wiper across your screen. So if you look at like this corner, do you see how I'm wiping across the screen with that corner?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why it's called like the windshield wiper rule. So you always want to be in a position where you have a windshield wiper like this, where you can very quickly wipe across your entire screen. Now you're fully exposed. Now you're not exposed at all. Fully exposed, not exposed at all. If you are standing back here, this windshield wiper is a lot slower because you are further away from the cover. This, super duper fast. This,
Got it.
much slower. Okay. There are more egregious examples of this, but the general idea should be here. So we have the meat shield rule, we have the windshield wiper rule, and then we have the I need to actually look at you in order to heal you rule. Pretty self-explanatory. You know, standing in front of healers is safer than standing behind them. And then lastly, we have the I don't fucking care. Come up with something yourself. The stand in the middle of your team because it makes you more annoying to single out rule, I guess. You know, like if you are standing right here and a Genji jumps you, like if you are in the middle of the team, anyone jumping you is also going to be in the middle of the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very true.
Okay, so ideally the safest position, again, I'm not saying the most effective, this is important. Right now, we are only talking about raw effectiveness. About raw safety, about the raw safety, not effectiveness. When it comes to raw safety, the safest position is behind someone in the middle of multiple people, in front of a healer, next to a piece of cover you can use. So right here, the safest position would be right here. Because right here, I mean, you're kind of in front of him. Like, he can see when you get low HP. You're not, like, super duper. I mean, ideally, you would want to stand, like, a little bit further. But there's no real cover that you can use. But at least you're kind of with your team. You're behind the Reinhardt. And you have the windshield wiper. So when it comes to safety, this is the safest spot to be. All of that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good. Now, when it comes to effectiveness, there are other factors. And I'm not going to go into as much detail here because, quite frankly, there isn't. But when it comes to effectiveness, the only things that matter is, first of all, of course, your range. Because the closer you are with certain characters, the more effective you are. And with off tanks, the only character that like wants to operate at long range is Sigma, because he needs to play at the max range of his orbs. But for all the other ones, you can play as close as you want. Okay, so that's an argument for why this position wouldn't be as effective as Zarya, because you wouldn't be able to quite reach the people in the back here. Okay, whereas this position over here would be more effective, because instead of having to use your low DPS safe right click, you can use your high DPS left click, where you can really pump out a bunch of single target DPS that can actually do picks. Like, no one is ever going to say, I died because of the Zarya right click. People are going to say, I died because this 100 energy Zarya was beaming me the fuck down. Okay, so that's range. And then number 2 is simply having a clear sightline. Okay, so this position has a clear sightline on the enemies. Do you see that? Yeah. But if the enemy Reinhardt was standing with his front line, then this position wouldn't be as clear of a sightline. Okay, so when we only want to play around effectiveness, then playing right here would be like the most effective position. You know, this would be like a good mix between having like the windshield thingy, but obviously your healer can't heal you. You're split from your team, so you're an isolated target, and you don't have a meat shield. The only safety factor that you have here is this whole, I'm playing around the corner and I can windshield. But it's also very effective because you're relatively close, so you can left click these people, and you have a fairly clear sightline on people. When it comes to safety, you would go for this position because it has everything, but it's very frontal, it's kind of a little more long distance, might not be as effective. I know we just talked about like a billion different things. Does all of that make sense?
No, definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
Good. So yeah, your positioning. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at yourself with this. This does not look like someone who wants to go in, and destroy people. Okay. See, like right now, we have a high energy, and we have our self bubble. What does that mean for us? What needs to go through your head right now?
When I press the advantage.
Yes. So right now you want to play aggressive, okay? And this brings us to one extra positioning thing. The safety of our positioning also is affected by our abilities. So for example, things like a Reinhardt shield or a Zarya self bubble or a Mei wall or a Genji deflect or a Moira fade. Abilities like that, they can make positions that would normally be unsafe, safe.
Yeah.
Okay, because they allow us to we can use those abilities to safely reposition to a safe position. Okay, so with a Zarya, playing here is perfectly fine if you have your self bubble. You don't have like any real cover, you're kind of frontlining, you don't have a meat shield, but you are within a shield's distance of those things. Okay, if you're standing here, then you're not within a shield's distance of safety, because your shield wouldn't be enough to make it all the way back here. But you can play right here, for example, and it would be fine because you have your shift and you can go over here. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Very, very good. And then I'm going to sip on some cherry soda stream.
Sounds good.
While I'm doing that, you can talk to me about this self bubble.
Okay.
Why was that the reason you're throwing and you're not climbing?
Because there was literally no danger of getting hit. There's like no way that would get any
So what are the
value.
consequences of you using your
now,
shift?
since I don't have it, they can just push in, and they can be aggressive for like at least the next 10 seconds, knowing that I don't have self bubble.
Yeah. And that sucks.
Yeah.
That
I don't know why
really
I
sucks.
that.
I do not know either. There's usually two reasons. The less common reason is simply not recognizing that you're already at full energy and using it to get energy. The more common reason is using it. Wait, I'm dumb. No, it's the other one around. The less common reason is because you think you actually need it to survive. The more common reason is not realizing that you're high energy and just seeing an opportunity to get energy. Like right here, you just saw, ooh, I can get a lot of energy. There's like all of these people looking at me, and then you pressed your bubble. But you need to consciously remind yourself.
I feel like I wasn't paying attention to what my Ryan was doing enough, I guess. Because I thought because he was like kind of back to the right like a second or two ago, and I was up there like frontlining basically, and I think I might have maybe bubbled just too late, or just like thought that Ryan wasn't gonna come, and so that might have been why. But
so you need to react to the to the signals, I guess, that the game is giving you that tell you when you're taking damage. So your character has like a little sound effect, like a, your screen starts to flash red. Your HP goes down in the bottom left. There's like sound effects, like when your shield breaks a Zarya, there's a little crackling sound. I wish I could demonstrate those things to you, but basically when you take a bunch of damage, there's like a lot of signs that you're taking a lot of damage. Okay, you need to be able to recognize those and then react to them with bubble usage.
Okay.
And backing off. Okay. But outside of that, you want to hold on to your bubble. Now, a little tip that I can give you is, what crosshair are you using?
I cannot. Let me look at it actually right now. I think it's the standard one.
The one where your energy is displayed around the crosshair?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the tip that I was going to give you.
To actually, yeah, I do have the standard one because I do like having that energy being visible.
Yeah, same here. It's just really, really helpful to have like a visual indicator for your energy. You can use that visual indicator as like an extra aid to you know,
to aim the beam, because it is physically
not to
aim.
not to aim the beam, to recognize when you have high energy.
Okay.
Like when your beam is really, really thick, not when you're, see now I'm saying it too. When like the circle, when the indicator is thick, you can go aggressive and you can hold onto your bubble very long. When it's thin, you can just throw it out, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like once it gets into the higher energy, you just kind of like transition into a like saving bubbles mode, I guess, like mindset wise.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a throw, because the thing you need to understand is that as a Zarya, while you are farming energy, you're kind of in toddler mode, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're cute, but you're not actually very productive. Once you have the high energy, that's when you can actually go and do stuff, you know? And your Zarya gameplay is kind of the epiphany of a kid you raise for 16 years and then you know, ends up becoming a drug dealer or something. Like you spend all of this time farming energy,
waste it all,
and then for what? Like you got fuck all out of it.
Yeah.
Okay? So yeah, at least you have high energy. Okay, so now you have your chance to redeem yourself. Something is telling me that you are going to use this bubble literally the moment you're gonna get it. Yes. Wow.
Okay.
Damn. I guess this ioStux guy, you know, this is why they pay me the big bucks, huh?
Yeah.
Literal fortune teller. And I did not look at the VOD before because it was not in my playlist. You know, just putting that down for documentation. But yeah, so jokes aside, the point that I'm trying to get at is that when this was not like, usually when people exhibit this kind of behavior with their self bubble when they're high energy, it's not because of like flunder, because they make one individual mistake. It's because they have like a fundamental, it's not part of their thinking process at all. Like they do not differentiate between right now I am a high energy Zarya and right now I am a low energy Zarya. When you get high energy, you need to explicitly remind yourself, I am playing a different character now. My shift, the focus is no longer that it gives me energy. I am treating my shift the exact same way that a Genji would treat deflect.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay, another self bubble. Let's see what we do with it. And yeah, you can use your ally bubble very liberally. You mostly use your ally bubble to like maintain your energy when you're high, but yeah. Okay, come on, go. Did some damage. And there's the self bubble again. You did like 2 damage to the Reinhardt shield and you already gave it away. You know, let the enemy team fight for the self bubble. Right now, your value is nothing.
I'm too eager to just use it.
You just want to get rid of it. It's not something you want to get rid of. It's what enables you to play aggressive. The moment you use it, you go away, you're back here again. If you hadn't used it, you could have stayed here, you could have beamed down the Rhine, you could have beamed down the Zarya, the soldier, you could have went all over them. But right now, you're not asking anything of the enemy team, if that makes sense. You're just giving it to them. They don't need to do anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It's
if they wanted, they could just predict it basically, like you did.
Exactly, and that's kind of a
just like wait for her to bubble. She's gonna bubble no matter what.
Yeah, and that's what we want to avoid. You know.
Yeah.
Why is all of this on ultra? What the fuck? I was so confused. Where's my FPS going? Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. For some reason, I've been away from my PC for so long. It just all turns to garbage.
It rebooted itself back to
Yeah.
factory settings.
Okay, there we go. Oh, this is amazing. Wow, this is insane. I swear, I've been using my shitty laptop for 2 weeks, locked to 30 FPS, because if it was any higher, the internal fans would would be too loud, and like the coachees would be able to hear it. Oh, this is like the shittiest, unstablest frame rate ever, but it feels so good. Hoi yo, okay. Wow. You know what? I'm sorry. I need to lower the I'm just all over this frame rate. I want more frame rate. Oh, there we go. Look at, ha. This makes your gameplay so much more bearable. I swear to God. This is like pornography. I feel so stimulated. But yeah. Something is telling me this is going to end up being a 30-minute session, because this is going to be repetitive.
Okay.
I should go back though. Actually, me literally having an episode there over the frame rate made me miss your grav. So we should talk about the grav real quick. So okay, so there's
got the Rhine.
I'm not too worried about your placement. I mean, I am, but it's not just the placement. It's something else. You want to make sure that your grav, you want to make sure that you can get kills off your grav independently.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just like even without, like, we had dragon, and so like even without dragon, like I would want to be able to get a grab that I could at least do damage enough to.
Exactly.
That way the dragon would be like the cherry on top, rather than like we're relying on the dragon to do all the work.
Exactly. So right here, what is stopping you from dealing damage? I mean, it literally stares you in the face, Nicole.
Yeah, just Nano Rhine.
Yeah. And not just the Nano Rhine, that's fine. The Rhine shield.
Yeah.
And that's a limited resource. Okay, something we can take care of. Yeah. So there's always an argument for saying, okay, you know what? Instead of throwing my grav out like this, you know, and being reliant on my teammates following up, maybe I should take those few seconds, get the Rhine shield down a little, and then I can make sure that even if none of my teammates follow up, I am still going to get value.
Okay.
Okay? Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Right there, we didn't use our self bubble. That's good. Step in the right direction. Oh, I feel so bad for people using 60 Hz monitors. Jesus Christ. Okay. And again, just talking about positioning your position, do you see how conservative this is?
Yeah.
The thing you need to understand is that your safety, whether you stand here or whether you stand right behind the Rhine, is basically the same.
The same.
But this position is significantly more effective.
Yeah, because I can help him with doing damage and at least be doing, you know, damage at all.
Exactly. Right here. I mean, now you're pushing up. Now that you have some energy. Actually, never mind. You're going back. See, a 100 energy Zarya with her bubble standing all the way back here. You're this is the siege of King's Landing, and instead of being Tyrion, you're being fucking Sansa. Like, don't hide with the supports back here. You need to go in, and you need to do stuff to people. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a question mark right there.
Yeah.
But again, if you would have if you would have played more aggressive earlier, you would have gotten your ultimate earlier.
Yeah, and then over by the choke.
Exactly. Okay. And again, it's a good thing that you're getting energy consistently. Like, that is honestly half the rent. You just need to pay for the other half. So keep an eye on your cooldown, right? 3 seconds. See, you're high energy. Your bubble is in 2 seconds. We need to get ready. You know?
Yeah.
But we're not getting ready.
Gotcha.
This is... How can he stand here when he has half your HP and no self bubble? You know?
Mm-hmm.
You're missing out on kills, you're missing out on pressure, you're missing out on ult charge, you're missing out on SR.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the energy, but that energy is meaningless if you can't use it to, like, go in, destroy people. Is this a first hold? Nah, you guys are gonna lose this, aren't you?
Yeah, we lose
This game
it.
is pretty long for a first hold.
Yeah.
See, and the worst part is that I think you're going to lose because you're missing 20% to your ultimate. See, like, where are you standing right now? You're so close to your ultimate. The game is almost over. What needs to go through your head right now is, I need to finish this. I need to close this out. I need to just get my ultimate, throw my ultimate at them, get 1 or 2 kills, and make sure that this game is over. But right now, you are giving your teammates time to feed, and you do not want to give them time to feed. Because now your Hanzo's already dead. You could have had this ultimate like 10 seconds earlier, and you would have already been able to go for a grab, and then your Baptiste would have thrown his window in front of it, and you would have killed the entire enemy team. But instead, your Hanzo is dead, and then your Doomfist is dead, and now your team is like going to slowly bleed, and then...
Yeah, and grab gets like nothing.
See, like, this is the problem with your gameplay. You get a bunch of energy real fast, but then because you don't play on your self bubble properly, it takes you ages to do anything with that energy. And then even when you actually get your ultimate, this is what you get out of them, you know? And that just doesn't cut it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a very aggressive Rhine. I mean, this is winnable. I mean, the jumping isn't helping.
Yeah, I jumped way too much.
It's much easier to hit people when they're not bouncing all over the floor. You know, personally. But yeah,
okay.
This is
It's really clear when you're just.
It is pretty clear. It is pretty clear, and I do also think that this is a pretty good point to, like, you know, to stop. Do you have any do you have any questions? I'm gonna change it so this is marked down as a 30-minute, so that I am not. There we go.
No, yeah, I know. I feel like you spelled it out pretty well. I need to, because I'm good at getting the charge, but I need to be better about like transitioning into like the high charge Zarya mindset of like doing stuff until I absolutely need the bubble, and then using it to, like, you know, move away from an aggressive position, and yeah, be less conservative with my positioning.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it seems pretty self-explanatory when you lay it out like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for like how I can get myself to like jump less?
Yes. You should rebind your crouch key to C. C for crouch. And then you need to build the habit of resting your thumb not on the spacebar, but on the C key.
Okay.
Okay. And not just when you're playing the game. This is important. Whenever you're doing anything, even if you're browsing the web or doing some work, do not rest your thumb on the spacebar. Keep it on the C key. And then eventually, like your thumb is still going to move, but at least now when it's moving, you're going to crouch spam, which is good, instead of jump, which is bad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll try that, because that's definitely a habit I need to break.
Okay.
Let's see. Like keep jump down to space, but just not rest the thumb there.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Perfect.
Well, awesome. Well,
Awesome,
thank you so
awesome.
much. I feel
Okay.
like super inspired to go play a bunch of Zarya and be more useful.
Sounds like